This right here is a account that we've all heard before, the tempting of Christ. And as we were reading yesterday, I'm going to just touch on just a few things. I'm not going to go through everything in here because of time, and because also I've only prepared a few notes for you today. And so when I tell you that we're going to get out of here quick, I mean we're going to probably get out of here quick. You'll probably have opportunity to add grits to the biscuit that you're going to get today. But this account in Matthew is notably comes directly after the baptism of Jesus by John the Baptist. It is written that John spoke of one to come that was more powerful than him whose sandals he was not even worthy to latch. The Bible goes on to say that Jesus then came to John to be baptized. And when it was so, the heavens opened up and the Spirit of God descended on him like a dove, lit down on him. And it said, "This is my son in whom I am well pleased." An awesome moment as God announces Jesus as his son, like laying his hand on his shoulder, ordaining him to the work ahead. But in between, and this is something that I noticed, Chris, and you're going to understand what I'm talking about. In between the baptism and the start of Christ's ministry, I noticed that there was no celebration. See, I remember when I was ordained. Remember when we was ordained? We had a preacher, he preached, had a choir, they sung, it was shouting and all that good stuff going on. We were presented with Bibles, and then afterwards, they prayed for us, and then we had a repast next door. We had cookies and punch, I think it was, stuff like that. So there was a celebration, well-wishers, saying, you know what, you're getting ready to start off. We wish you well, we're going to be praying for you. But when I look at the text, I noticed that none of that was present for Christ. There was no singing angels or anything like that. The Bible says that once he was ordained, once he had been baptized, once he had been announced by God as being his son, then he was sent straightway by the Spirit into the wilderness. No repast, no celebration. And it also says that he was sent there to be tested by the devil. Man, when I think about when I was ordained, and I think about, yes, we taught Bible studies. Of course, we had to go through our catechism and all those different things, so we had to prepare for that. I'm thankful, I should say that I didn't have to go through this. I'm thankful that I had opportunity to leisurely read. I'm thankful that I had opportunity to leisurely study, to leisurely teach this or to participate in that. But I noticed here that as soon as the Christ, as soon as the Son of God was told that he was the Son of God and baptized, he was sent to be tempted by the devil in the desert. There was no celebration. So it took something that he was getting ready to go through something. Now, we call ourselves going through a process when we go through our catechism. We call ourselves going through a process when we first announce that we have been called to the ministry. We go through classes and different things like that, and we begin to teach and do those different things that we're told to do. But understand something, that Jesus did not get all of that. Now, we know that he was teaching in the temple and all that, but we didn't have to fast for 40 days. We weren't sent out from the comforts of home for 40 days into an isolated place. We weren't sent out into a lonely place. We weren't sent out to be tested straightway. The same Spirit that called us into this ministry, thanks be to God, it didn't send us into a desert. But I have to tell you though, I see why now, and I understand something now. What I'm trying to get at is, you can't really sing the gospel until you go through something. You can't really teach about being strong and holding on until you had to be strong and hold on. You can't tell somebody that weeping may endure but a night, but joy comes in the morning unless you have cried all night. unless you have been through a struggle.